Recently, I was reading through Proverbs and I came to Proverbs chapter 28, verse 19. And it says, if one turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. And I stopped to think a little bit about what the implications of that verse were. The law is God's word. So if anyone, turns away his ears, I don't want to hear either through I don't want to pay attention, or I don't want to follow God's rules, or just through neglect, not spending any time in a place where you can hear God's word taught or read it for yourself, where we just have a neglect of God's word. It says, even his prayer is an abomination. That really comes and just makes you think, is like, are there times when my prayer is something that is offensive to God? Because the scriptures tell us that we can come to him and cast our cares upon him. But here it says there's a time when we might be coming, or I might be coming, and God actually be offended by my prayer. And that would be those times when I'm coming and saying, Lord, I want you to listen to me, but in my own lifestyle, either through disobedience or just through plain neglect of your word, I've said, I don't care what you have to say to me. And that was just something that hit me because of how many times I'm going to the Lord with something that's on my mind, but I've not been spending very much time thinking about what he might have to say to me. And so it was just sort of a wake-up call. It goes back to that old part you've probably heard about Christianity not being religion, but a relationship. Well, if that's true, then we know that the most basic part of any relationship is communication between one and the other. And God speaks to us through his word, whether it's taught or heard or read for ourselves. He's speaking to us through his word, the Bible. And then we respond back to him in prayer. So we speak to God in prayer, and that's how we communicate. So sometimes I should stop and say, well, Lord, I've heard what you've had to say to me. And in this fact, is like, Lord, I want to pay attention to what you have to say to me more than I want to be concerned about you hearing what I have to say. And at least I want to make sure that I've listened to you first before I get too worried about telling you what I want to say. And in that way, there is a relationship where we are listening and responding and actually having a conversation with the Lord. And it's also a reminder, this verse to me, that of the two people that need to talk when it's me and God, the one who always has something more important to say is the Lord and not me. And that's just been a good reminder for me as I've thought about this proverb today, and maybe you could think about it too.